Hello, Saberland. Okay, so this is my Russ Rep based Luke V2. It has a Crystal Focus 6.5 in it and a 2-watt bass speaker, um, 7.4 volt lithium ion battery pack, 14500s, touch plate activation. It does have a tri-rebel green, green, amber in it. Let's see. So what did I do? So I started off with the Russ Rep bass, and originally I was going to do a CFLS with a string blade on it, but I started doing this. Oh, this is a reveal, by the way. I started doing this probably a year or so more ago, before the last RPF prop party. So probably it was one of the parts on here was one of the first things I ever made on my mill when I got it. So I made a really simple crystal chamber on it, and the way I didn't plan it the best way because it'd been such a long progression. I could have done it a little bit better. So I decided more recently to just go ahead and finish it because it had been sitting for a while, and I thought about it and I wanted to do. I wanted it to have flash and clash, but I wanted it to be bright, and through the neck it's just not going to be very nice with not like a Mark 6. It wouldn't have that kind of depth. Mark 6 is engineered really nicely to be good and bright for a Luke Saber, but this one it just wasn't going to be as bright as that. So I decided to put the Tri-Rebel in the emitter. But let me back up. First, I made the crystal chamber, and I decided where I was going to kind of mentally mapped out where I was going to put things. I wanted to put the recharge port in under the clamp so it was going to be easy to get to, and I was originally thinking of putting a rice port there too, but since it's not going to be, I'm not going to be color changing or anything like that, I don't really need a rice port. I don't mind doing those changes on the card itself. So first thing I did was I bored out the back, got that nice and large, figured out kind of where everything was going to go. But the one thing I had to do was I had to bore out the neck a little bit more because I was going to do the CFLS, and I needed a place to put a DIN connector. So Russ's run of the V2 had an extra groove in the neck right there, and I never could understand where that was coming from. I know some people think it's there. Me personally, I don't think it belongs there, so it always kind of bothered me. So I just never was in love with that, but I was going to live with it. But when I was boring out the neck to accept the DIN plug, that groove was just deep enough to weaken it, and the neck just snapped off. Oh God. So what I had to do was I had to lay down the base of the grenade area flat. Then I had to make a whole new, everything from here up is completely new. I used the Russ's dimensions and also the dimensions from our MRLE to get these pieces. So this is a thread. This is a double male threaded piece. It's threaded into here. I tapped and threaded the grenade. It's threaded into here, and this is threaded up into the emitter section from the wind vane up. The wind vane up, all that was machined just from scratch. The emitter here, Russ's emitter is pretty close to what I like for the dimensions, but the emitter flange, the main face, is too skinny. It's not wide enough for what I like, and I like MR's Master Replica's V2, and so I remachined a whole new piece based on that width. It's closer to what a Derwent balance pipe is, which is the V2 was just a stunt version of the OB1, so it should be pretty close in dimensions. So that's how I did that. This is also serves as the heat sink and the LED base. So right inside here, the blade sits over the LED and the heat sink, and tightens in with a 8/32 screw. Pretty simple. I had to make a whole new back because let's see. Let me show you here. Whoops. So this is where my CF is in my battery pack. Okay. All right, and then I'll show you the reveal in a second. So under the clamp is the recharge port.
Now fulfill your destiny.
I wanted it to be hidden and not have to use this and take this off all the time. Plus, my battery pack and CF would be in the way for a recharge port. So I put it right there. I've got my touch put activation here. It's mega bright. Since the LED is right by the base of the blade, it's bright. And it's loud. Having no visible sound holes, it's nice and loud. There is a little bit of light coming out of the base of the emitter, and I wanted that. I liked Sloth Furnace's idea of how he's done his CFLS sabers, and that was part of the plan. So I like that. So here's the reveal. I haven't messed with the settings on the LED sequence yet, so it's not 100% the way I like it, but it's a simple crystal chamber. Let me show it to you a little closer. It's just simple. A couple little radiator fin kind of cutouts. It's real simple. Nothing to it. It's just got a twist lock. Like I said, I did that. It's one of the first things I did before I really planned anything out. I did it, and I decided I wanted to use that, just that big hunk of brass. So there it is. There's my see what else. Just run through one more font, maybe.
Welcome, young Skywalker.
I'm always partial to this font. It just sounds fantastic. So there it is. Apple Aura quartz crystal. Thanks for looking.